Hey, it's the AK Option Trader, and I am back. I am sorry for such a long absence. It has been a crazy fall. I've been unable to post as much as I'd like. But anyway, we're back at it. So this is going to be video number 8. This series, from now on, we'll probably jump back to some new candles later, but I want to move on to support and resistance. Support and resistance is probably the basis. I don't know the number. I bet you have 60-70% of the trades I do are based on support and resistance. Support and resistance comes in many different ways. It comes at angles, it comes at straight lines, it comes at Fibonacci fans and Fibonacci retracement levels, it comes at pivot points. There are so many terminologies. It's such a deep subject, but I'm just going to touch the surface of it now and kind of explain it to you and the way it works. And then we're going to take that and make it to the next step. We're going to look at trend lines. We're going to look at range trading. We're going to look at patterns based on support and resistance. So we've learned the candles that you see within these patterns that we're going to be able to trade with. So now let's look at kind of the bigger picture, if you will, the support and resistance. Support and resistance generally involves, I don't know how many candles generally. I'd say you can do it with 1 or 2 candles, but you need at least 2 candles to have support or resistance. If you remember tweezer tops, tweezer tops is a resemblance of resistance. There is a resistance at that level, at that top. Tweezer bottoms, there's support at that level, at the tweezer bottoms. All these are, this is Disney chart here. So all this means is at certain levels on certain charts, okay, there's people are willing to buy and people are willing to sell. Okay, that's all that means. That is all it means on all support, all resistance. There's people buying at that level meaning price, over here, the price, and there's people selling at certain prices. Now I haven't gone through this chart at all, but I promise you, every chart you ever look at is going to have key support and resistant levels. I don't have to pre-look at this chart. I can pick any chart out there. I just did Disney. I'm trying to pick stocks or companies you've heard of so you can kind of relate to them. Maybe go look them up. The ticker symbol on this, sorry I forgot to make it where you can see it, is DIS. Okay? So right now you see a whole bunch of nice candle patterns in here. You see a bearish engulfing. We see a lot of the stuff we looked at. We see doji stars. We see a lot of things going on. So let's look for some support and some resistance. Okay, now right off the bat, I told you that it would take more than 1 candle. 1 candle can get it started. This level down here, where this broke down to this level, and this is 3250. Okay, we'll call it 3250. Most of the times they come at key levels. This 3250 is a support level. Even though this is just 1 candle, it is a support level. Now, for it to be a strong support level, or one we'd really want to watch, it'd have to be retested. So I could take this line right here, and I could say, okay, this level, 3254 to be exact, is a support level. What does that mean? That means next time it touches this 3254, we should see some buying in there. But if we look over here, it actually did hold. I know you're looking and saying it broke it, but if you look at this candle, it closed above it. It went beneath it. This is a daily chart. It closed above this line. It did offer some kind of support. Look at the next day. It closed above this line. It took the 3rd time, and you can see the consolidation here, to close beneath the line, and then what did it do? It closed above the line again. This area, this line, actually offered support off of this 1 candle, and I just got done telling you it should take at least 2. And it's 2 to confirm it. Okay, if this would have broke through and kept on going, then it would have been nothing. It was probably an earnings down here. Some kind of news happened here that made that happen. Okay, so that is a support level. Okay, it was a small one, not a perfect example, but just one just caught my eye. Just scrolling, like I said, I haven't ever looked through this. Okay, here's a nice look at this. Look at this nice. This is a resistance level right here. This is a clear resistance level. This 3058. This market rallied. Okay, it blew above this, gap down. We studied gaps a little bit. We're going to talk about gaps some more because they have clear support and resistance areas and gaps. Rallied back in. It hit this 3058 once, twice, came down 3 times, got close a 4th time, came down a 5th time, and then sold off. This was a clear resistance level. Okay, This is a clear resistance level, this 3058. After the second time hitting this, I'd be watching this going, I wonder if we're forming a top here. And then look, what do we see here? A bearish engulfing candle. You're going, uh-oh, something weird's going on. And then you're going to be watching for this sell-off. And look, la-di-da, here it comes. Okay, so this was a clear resistance level. All right, easy to see. They are easy to spot if you just spend time looking at spot. Now, sometimes there are areas like this here. You'll see me if you ever follow my other blog. I'll draw a kind of like a rectangle like this and say, okay, this is the area. It may not be just a direct line. It may be this area. Anytime it comes in this area, this range, 24.25 to 75, 24.75, it rallies. It does not want to stay beneath there. Okay, so they can be an area too. So this area is a support area. But today I was constantly concentrating more on clear-cut support and resistance. Now when I see a gap like this, we've talked about gaps, I tend to look at these areas right here as possible support and resistance areas. So look at this area, 21.45. Well, it's 44.90, so we'll say 21.45. Look over here. What did it hit? Boom. I've never looked at this before. Just drew that line in the gap. I'd see this gap going, okay, this line will probably come into play sometime. Here it came, rallied back up to here, hit it, and it was a great area for a nice reversal play, some put options playing to the downside. You can do the same thing on the bottom. I'd probably draw a line down here on the bottom and find the same thing. Probably more in this area here. Okay, instead of this big wick, this makes more sense because it's hit twice, remember, 2 times, and it offers a real good clear line. This one was a one strong gap into trying to fill the gap, and then came back down. This was a clear-cut shave candle, and you can see if you look over here, it offered resistance, and it moved off again. It offered resistance. It was tested here again. I mean, before it broke through about the 4th, 5th time, which is common. Then, now here's the next step, support and resistance then becomes vice versa. Resistance, once it's broke through, becomes support. Support, once it's broke through, becomes resistance. Okay, so let's look at an example. Here we go. Look at, I've never looked at this. Here we go. We break through, drop down, rally, break through. Couldn't hold it. Had a nice tweezer, a little bit of a bearish engulfing candle here. Broke down. This time we broke through. Now this resistance becomes support. Look at this. See how this becomes support? It's support. It's support. It's causing this not to drop below. People are buying there now. People are buying there now. Okay, so same thing here. This resistance finally broke through. It offered support right here. Okay, so support becomes resistance, resistance becomes support. They don't hold forever. I mean, look how clean this is. Here's a little breakthrough here, but it came back. Look at this. This is beautiful. You know, like I said, we're just looking at this the first time. Look at these marks up here. Okay, support and resistance. Support and resistance is key. You can see it all over the charts. You're going to find areas where there's buying and there's selling. I've seen a whole bunch of little ones here, but I'm running out of time. I want to see if I can find a nice big one. Right here's another nice one here. This area here is nice resistance. Here's a nice support, but look at, they're based off of the other lines I've already drawn. So I wouldn't even look at this area. This is a nice rectangle one here. Here's a real nice resistance area. So you know every time it reaches into this level, people are wanting to sell. People are wanting to sell. The longer it stays here, the more odds that it's going to drop, and it does. It has a real nice drop right here, okay? And then it found support. I would have said, if I was showing you this chart, I would have said, hey, we're probably going to see support right here. See this candle? See these 3 here? They all offered support here. I would have said, hey, we're probably going to see support right here. We did not. We actually saw support above it, okay? And then it gapped up, my guess, an earnings play right here, gapped up going into earnings, okay? Let's see, we got another minute here. Another nice resistance. See this? 1, 2, 3 areas of resistance. Now I could draw lines in some of these, in these more significant ones. And like I said, this subject is so deep, it's going to take us a few weeks to go over it. Okay? Let's zoom out a little bit. And you can do this in any level of chart. Okay, here's the big picture. This is 10 years of Disney's. So support and resistance simply are areas where buying takes place or selling takes place, and it happens repeatedly. Alright, we're going to learn more about them as we go along. Here's one, like right here. These peaks are often good areas. These peaks out in the open are good areas for support and resistance levels. Anyway, so that's the very, very basic, real quick support and resistance. You're going to see a lot more of it as I get into here and start showing you how to use that. But for now, this will be the AK Option Trader signing off. Trade well and prosper.